this is your favorite Darman actor and your king here, Melvin Ward, back at it again with another episode of Mel's Perspective. And today we are going to be talking about the word accountability and what that means. So let's go ahead and look at this definition. So accountability, the fact or condition of being accountable, responsible. And here's another definition. I actually like this one. So what does accountability mean? It's the quality or state of being accountable, especially an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. Public officials lacking accountability. My take on accountability is this: be responsible for your own actions. Take accountability for your own actions. And what I mean by that is, I feel people who don't accept their or take responsibility for their actions, those are the people who are for sure hard-headed and stubborn, and they think that they're right all the time, and they think that everybody else around them is wrong. Anything that they do, anything that may have caused them to, that may have caused them to maybe make a bad mistake, and they're blaming everybody else. They're pointing that finger at everybody else. But then they're like, wait a minute, I didn't take responsibility for my own actions. I actually know someone personally who is very strong-willed, very stubborn, and they're the type of individual, whatever you tell them about themselves, they're always right. And they always have some type of excuse to not accept their responsibility, to not accept the fact that, you know what, I might be wrong and maybe there's room for improvement. You know what I mean? Like, there's a situation right now where he was dating I guess a mutual friend of mine and a few of my other friends, and he really just flipped the script, and he's making up these crazy stories, or like making just terrible decisions. For example, a friend of mine offered to sell him his car, which is a brand new car, right? And he was like, hey, everything's, all the bells and whistles, all you gotta do is pay a certain amount. He said, oh no, it's all good, I'll just, pay, I'll just go to the dealership and, get, a car that I want. And our friend was like, okay, cool. So, my friend, he goes to this dealership. From what I was told, he goes to this dealership, gets a car, but not the one that he wants. Gets the car, not the one that he wants. He's paying a whole lot more a month as opposed to a good deal that my friend offered him. And he has an excuse behind it. Oh, well, I just figured out it's just for my, so I can go travel and for Uber and for Lyft and, look, he didn't accept the fact that, he made a mistake. He didn't, here's another thing. He supposedly is behind on payments. He hasn't been paying on the car. The car is definitely a limit. There's always something wrong with it. But also, he's not accepting the fact that he was wrong and saying, you know what, I messed up, I made a mistake, and I should have listened. People who don't take accountability for their actions don't like to listen. They don't listen. They hear what they want to hear, and then they flip the script. So, accountability is important, people. That's my thing. Accountability is important, and I feel that when you're accountable, you're accepting every decision that you make, whether it be good or bad. You're accepting the fact that I'm not perfect, and I'm willing to take the right steps to improve. I'm willing to Take constructive criticism. That's some things that they don't like to do. Some people who are hard-headed and who don't take accountability for their actions, they don't know how to take constructive criticism. They think, oh, you're offending them, and that, or you're offending them, and that, you know, that you're trying to correct them in some type of way. It may be some type of correction. It may be correction, but I mean, we're all trying to, you know, improve and to be better. But for people who are stubborn and who don't know how to take that criticism, I don't know if they should be your friend. You know what I mean? Especially if you keep giving them good advice and they're not listening to it. It's like, you know what? You're talking to a brick wall. You're not literally, but figuratively, you're talking into a brick wall, because they're not going to listen to you. They're definitely not going to listen to you. And people who don't take accountability for their actions, they annoy me a lot. They really annoy me a lot. And I just, it's something about those people who's like, oh no, I'm right all the time, but you guys are wrong. Okay, so if so-and-so said that you did this and so-and-so said that you did that, or, you know, the reason why, you know, that you broke up with that person was because of something that you did, and the reason why you broke up with that person was because of something you did, and the reason why you broke up with that person was because of something that you did. The common denominator is you, and you're still not accepting the fact that, man, there's something wrong with me. At the end of the day, maybe I need to switch things up and change things around and make my life better and make better decisions. And you know what? Just sit back and reflect. Those are some things that I like to do, especially when it comes to taking accountability for my actions. Especially when I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'll accept the fact that, man, Mel, you wrong, bro. You wrong. And there's some people who will call me out like, Mel, you know you wrong. Nah, I might not like it, but as a mature adult and as a man, I'm going to have to accept it. Whether I'm, you know, especially if I'm wrong. Yeah, I accept it. And it's crazy because to me, I feel better when I do take accountability for my actions. Especially, I mean, if it's something that's detrimental, I'm like, dang, I'm a terrible person. I am terrible. But you know what? I'm wrong. I apologize. And help me look at it from your perspective. Like, what is it that what did I do exactly to, you know, to make the situation wrong? Or what did I do to hurt your feelings? Or what did I say? Just help me understand. Like help me to articulate what you really mean. Like, help me really comprehend what you're saying to me, so then I can then go back, reflect, and say, you know what, they're right. You know, I am the common denominator, and I need to fix myself. And sometimes when people who don't take accountability for their actions, and they're not responsible for their actions, or they feel that they're not responsible for their actions, that stuff cuts deep, and I honestly feel it's deeper. It's deeper than, you know, the surface. There's a lot of things that, you know, maybe their childhood, you know, someone probably told them so much negative things about themselves, and then they just kept on keeping on. Just like, you know, my guy, he is a type of person who he says he's an alpha male, but he's not an alpha male. He's not. He's one of those type of people who definitely he is I hate to say this, but he's a good person. He's a good job interviewer, if that makes sense, when it comes to giving a first impression. Especially when it comes to relationships. So this is actually ties back into him being in a relationship with someone that they actually broke up, but because of him, and he's not accepting the fact that it's him that he's the problem, and he thinks that everybody else is the problem around him. But yeah, he's a good person. He's a good interviewer, and By that I mean that in the first impressions, oh yeah, this person, he's a good person. He's a good guy. He does the job. And when it's time for you to do the job that you said that you were gonna do, and that's on your resume of things that you said that you've done before, there's a high expectations for you. There's high expectations for you to go ahead and do the job that you said that you are able to do and willing to do. You know what I mean? Be a man of your word, or be a person. Be a person of your word. I won't want to say man because that's being sexist. I guess kind of, but like be a person of your word. If you say you're gonna do something, do something. And I think that goes back to being accountable and having somebody hold you accountable, and that can be, I guess, for me when it comes to accountability for my life. Besides accepting responsibility for my own actions, but having somebody. So if I tell somebody that, hey, you know what, I want to go to the gym and work out 5 days a week, and I want you to hold me accountable. Hey, that's me putting that out there in the atmosphere, saying, hey, I'm going to work out 5 days a week, and I want you to be on me tough. That's part of having an accountability partner. You know what I mean? That's part of somebody telling you like it is, and not being afraid to take constructive criticism, especially when you're wrong. And if you miss it, if I miss a day, they're gonna expect me to make it up or say, hey, Mel, like, yo, you missed a day, man. What happened, bro? You want me to, to be hard on you, so I'm gonna be hard on you, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Or like somebody who's, I don't know, like someone who might be addicted. Addiction is that is a huge spectrum of addiction. So that can be drugs, alcohol, food, pornography, whatever it is. So if you're telling someone that you're struggling with something and you have, an addiction, you want them to hold you accountable because you really want to get, you really want to get this right. You really want to, overcome this. You want to get rid of that stronghold that's in your life. You know what I mean? So I just feel accountability is important, especially when it comes to you just being a person of your word and saying, like, you know what, I'm dealing with this and I need some help. I think that's important, when it comes to people who lack accountability and who don't take responsibilities for their own actions. They lack that attribute. They lack it. You know what I mean? And that's a sense of pride. Pride comes before the fall. That's, I don't know. That's just my opinion. That is my opinion. But what do you guys think? Tell me what you guys think. What do you think about accountability? Do you think accountability or being accountable for your actions is important? Or are you that person who says, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. It's everybody else's fault. Something that one of my old pastors told me, or not told me, but he said to the congregation, he said, when you point the finger at somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So those 3 outweigh that one that you're pointing at. You know what I mean? And it goes back, I don't want to be all biblical, but it goes back, in the Bible there's a story. I don't want to say like there's a story, but there's a passage that talks about, instead of focusing on the speck of splinter, or the splinter of wood that's in somebody else's eye, you need to focus on the big plank that's in your eye. So to me, that means stop looking at everybody else's problems and stop blaming everybody else of what you've done, and worry about yourself and take care of yourself and deal with yourself. You know what I mean? And stop passing judgment and stop making excuses. That's another thing that people do that lack accountability. They make excuses for every single thing. And to me, that's tiresome. I can't do it. I can't. You know what I mean? And maybe that's because I'm blessed to have people in my life that hold me accountable. And sometimes it's not even like I ask them to hold me accountable for some things. They're just, like, you know what I mean? They're very honest with me. And I accept the fact that they're honest with me because I'm the type of individual who wants to get better and who wants to grow and who wants to evolve and who wants to be better, so then I can be a better human being, but also help other people grow. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel maybe with this podcast, me being vulnerable and me being transparent with certain things, like I can help people. You know what I mean? And I don't care if it gets one view or one listen. As long as I reach one person, that's all that matters to me. If it reaches to the masses, that is a huge blessing. But hey, but no, being responsible, being accountable, and taking responsibility for your actions is very, very important to me. And that helps you grow, and that helps you be a better person and a better human being the next day. And if you feel that you're right all the time, there's something wrong with you, and that's something that you have to dig deep in and figure out, why do I feel like I'm right all the time? Was it something when I was young when somebody told me, oh no, like you're wrong, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that? Like, what happened? Something happened that triggered, no, I'm right all the time. I'm right all the time. Did somebody call you stupid when you were young? Did somebody tell you, oh no, you're wrong? Oh no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. Get it right. You know what I mean? There's always a root to something. There's always a root to something that, you know, triggers a behavior. That's for everybody. You know what I mean? But it's addressing those matters and those issues. And you have to want to get better. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I'm gonna be a little, I won't say vulgar, but you can lead a nigga to the library, but you can't make him think. You know what I mean? You can't. You know what I mean? You know, you can want something for somebody so bad, but if they don't want it, if they don't want to change, that's up to them. You know, I used to work for a mental health agency, you know, years ago, and that's one thing that, you know, my supervisor always told me. That person, they have to want to get better. You can provide them with the information and with the resources, but they have to choose to want to get better. They have to choose to take responsibilities for their own actions. They have to say, you know what, I want to get better, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this, you know. But some people are stubborn and they're stuck in their ways. And if you have people like that in your life, I would say, I don't want to say get rid of them, but kind of step away from them. You know, really kind of back off, because that can sap your energy so much. That can really take a lot out of you if you just allow that person just to have all these excuses. And me personally, I can't be around that type of person. I can't be around that kind of energy that's always like Debbie Downer, or that's always making excuses for something. You know, there was a point in my life when I was younger, I would make excuses for certain things, and I was like, nah, I can't keep making excuses for stuff. Like, if it's my fault, it's my fault. I did it. Fess up. So people out there, if you're that type of person who's always blaming other people, take responsibility for your actions. Be accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And get yourself an accountability partner. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. We're human. We're not perfect. We can strive to be perfect, but we're not perfect at the end of the day. So I guess I'm getting off my soapbox today about accountability. I might have more in my mind. I'm thinking right now, I don't really have more to say, but if I do have more to say about accountability, trust and believe there might be a part 2 of accountability. So that is it today for this episode of Mel's Perspective. I hope that you enjoyed it just like I did. For my people who are on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go ahead, like the video, share the video. Last certainly definitely not least, go ahead and hit the notification bell if you guys want notification videos every single week, because I make new videos like this every single day. And everybody that's listening on this podcast, thank you so much for listening. Please share this podcast and let people know that, hey, it's a real brother down here that's doing this thing from Oakland, California, but lives in LA. He's a doorman actor. He's a creator. He is an artist. He is an influencer. Speaking his mind and giving his perspective. It's your favorite doorman, actor, and your king here, Melvin Ward, signing off.